Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
We're your hosts, Jalen and Lamont McFerrin.
We are all in this
Together. Reverence for all life. Reverence for all life. Reverence for all life. Reverence for all life. Compassionate beings, be all that you can be. Compassionate beings, be all that you can be. Reverence for all life. Reverence for all life. Reverence for all life. Reverence for all life. Compassionate beings, be all that you can unify and diversity.
Yeah, welcome to Mindflow Radio. Here we are.
Mindflow Radio.
Here we are.
This is another edition of our mini Mindflow.
Mindflow
For those
Radio.
busy folks out there that would like some mindful tidbits. So we thought we'd
Indeed.
talk about the current events
Current events. Yes.
of
It's been a wild, well, I mean, just it's been a wild year, really.
yeah.
And this is just kind of like the event in Minneapolis just brought up a lot of anger.
A lot of fresh wounds,
Yeah. Hatred.
a lot of perspectives on who's right and who's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that as a culture, we really we need to find a new way.
Yeah, we really do.
If there was a way to,
It's true.
more intellectually deal with this.
More heartfully.
More heartfully.
You know, more
like that.
heart-centered, more just like respectfully, and
Mhm.
I mean, just all around. The cops need to respect people, and we need to respect the cops, and I mean, just like we're all these like God beings. We're all soulful beings,
Mhm.
every one of us.
Yeah.
And so
I think that what happened in Minneapolis is just like a snapshot of what's going on inside of all of our minds, though.
what do you mean?
We're all kind of looting and burning it down in our own minds, like what is society? What is normal? What is acceptance? What is tolerance? What is hate? Where do I stand? What is mindfulness? What
Yeah.
how can I be healthy? I don't know how to be healthy. No one else is healthy. What does it matter?
Yeah, right.
You know?
When we get mad, we burn things down,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of reasons to be mad too. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
I mean, but this is just the way life is. I mean, with, throughout the ages,
Mm-hmm.
we get mad, then the other side gets mad, and then this side gets mad, and then we're all like, when in reality, if we could all just respect each other,
Yeah. Respect is
respect each other,
Pretty
as
important.
like amazing, soulful beings,
Mhm.
and just,
And I just want to put it out there that I don't really feel that what happened was wrong or right. I really
well, part of it was wrong. I mean, the beginning of it was wrong. Just this, murdering
Right.
somebody
Right.
is wrong.
right. But I don't mean to speak in defense of anyone. I like to play devil's advocate, and that upsets people. But please, if you can just hear my words as a devil's advocate, was the cop just triggered and he was lost in his own nervous system and really just not responsive to his own fight or flight that he was going through? And yes, what he did was wrong, no doubt.
Yeah.
But would it have been easier, wiser, less destructive to just make sure he got fired and put in jail?
Well, yeah. He's in jail now.
Oh, good.
Finally.
I'm not really.
They really drag their feet on that one.
Really, and that's why this all happened, right?
Well,
because they drag their feet.
Partly,
yeah.
Which was just kind of silly to me, but I mean, it is what it is. They drag their feet, and all this stuff happened, and
now they finally did what they should have done in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
But to get out of this cycle of hating each other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really, I'd really like to talk about is. When people do unjust things, how do we react to that? If we react in hatred, I would suggest our actions are less than effective, and
well, we're clouded by a judgment. It's like a goggles. It's like a filter of our goggles where
if we hate people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like if I'm like in the mindset of I hate all cops. That really like colors my perspective on, and I take this whole group of people and I lump them into this category of people that are bad. Essentially,
Yeah.
Bad.
I hear you. I feel that a really big one in our culture right now is I hate Republicans and I hate Democrats.
That's true.
That's huge. That's true. That's hard too, because you can't even look at somebody unless they're wearing a D or an R. Like, how do you know? Yeah. You can misjudge people. I've been misjudged several times on that topic, Well,
it's all quite tragic too, because we're all in this together. And
yeah, we are.
The more we keep just fighting amongst ourselves, the more things will never change.
Yeah. And
things will not change if the masses, if the proletariat keep stay at war with each other.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And I really do want to go back to what you were saying, if we see everyone as God beings. And this brings up something that I was talking with somebody this week about, and it's, can we make a new definition for safety? And when I talked to you about it, you were like, oh, well, you're actually saying let's make a new definition of self, which would make a new definition of safety. Yeah. And I think that's what we're proponents of, is let's make new definitions of self so that there isn't others. It's like the reason why hate is possible is because we consider the ones that we hate other. Yeah. And they're less than us. Yeah. And so therefore they're less human and less godly, less soulful. So therefore we can hate them, we can judge them, condemn them, gossip about them, so on and so forth.
Right. Well, that's true, just having that definition of others. But it really boils down to the definition of ourselves. Right. If we can really see that in ourselves, then we can know it's true in everyone. Exactly. And let's face it, if we're hating others when they make mistakes, and they might be terrible mistakes, but then we also hate ourselves when we make mistakes. Mm-hmm. So it really does boil down to our own internal process. Mm-hmm. How do we see ourselves? Mm-hmm. How do we react to ourselves when we make, colossal mistakes, which we all do, from time to time.
I definitely get irritated with myself.
But do you hate yourself?
No.
Okay. Do you hate others?
No.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, but
Good
I'm
job.
One of 300 million plus people. So.
Well, the
and I'm pretty unique.
You are unique. That's true.
Oops.
But I do believe that that's a major step in the evolution of humanity is for us to learn how to not hate each other or ourselves. If we can just eliminate hatred, it's not helpful.
It is not helpful. That was funny.
And people seem to have the philosophy of, well, if you don't hate somebody, you'll never do anything to make things change. And that's just totally not true.
Well, I think that anger, right, You're talking about anger versus...
Well,
is anger and hate the same thing?
It's not the same thing, but I mean, hatred leads to anger for sure.
Or does anger lead to hate?
Well, it could be both.
Yeah, I think it's chicken or egg.
But the idea of hatred is a philosophy that it's a mind habit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the habit of being hateful, you're in that habit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the habit of not being hateful, I mean, that's a thing. I mean, we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for progress. Being less hateful, being less divided amongst the masses, being less divided within ourselves.
Yeah.
That's wholeness. That's oneness. And then at that point, we're able to effectively move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we just stay stuck in this hatred, things will not change.
Mm-mm.
I mean, either within ourselves or within our culture. But the beauty of it is we each can make that decision individually, whether we want to reduce our hatred or we want to stay with it. And, it's interesting. And I would suggest if you are interested in becoming, if you think you may have some hatred in you, one effective way at reducing that is probably turning off the news for a while. Because I really feel like they throw gasoline on the fire of hatred, really. I mean, talk about hating Democrats or Republicans or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if
the news is all about that, really.
If you can keep the masses divided, then they can't stop you.
Oh, right. Then nothing changes. Status quo.
Status quo.
Keep them hateful.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, not being hateful is rebellion.
It is rebellion. It is.
It's like it's the rebellion we need.
Well, we live in this world where a rebellion, with the way things are, just shaking somebody's hand is an act of rebellion.
I know.
Giving somebody a hug is an act of huge rebellion.
Yeah.
Not being hateful towards anybody, that would just trip some people out. They'd be like, "What? You're not hateful? I hate you because of that." It's like, oh, well, that's your trip, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
People who are full of hate, it's just a miserable. I mean, as far as the mind goes too, let's look at that a little bit. And when we've been dissed, or somebody's been dissed, or somebody's been injured, somebody's been wronged, the way to really stay in a place of hatred about that is to just keep ruminating on it over and over and over and over and over, over and over and over, and just keep ruminating on something that's super disturbing. And that just feeds the flame of hatred. And that's what the media does, actually.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And just the whole idea. And the more, if our minds are busy enough hating others,
we can't have any progress.
Well, we can't even identify our own soulful nature.
Yep.
That's the thing. I mean, for us to be able to get in touch with our own soul and our own connection with the universe, we need some quiet in our minds, some peace of mind. And then we're able to connect. And then we're able to see that soul in everyone.
So I want to just touch on what you just said, because it's so important. And that is that the quiet and the stillness is as important as the thinking.
Oh, yeah, they go hand in hand.
And if you don't take time to pause and reflect and process what's been in your mind without ruminating, which is a skill for sure, but even just pausing in the quiet. The other day, my son went on his merry way on his travels, and that night I was just like, I think that I'll get further if I don't try to do one thing this evening. And I just pretty much sat in a chair and chilled out.
Yeah.
And I didn't beat myself up. I didn't say I should be doing this, this, and this. I didn't say to myself, gosh, I'm bored. I think I'll watch TV or look at Facebook. Or I just was just like, I am totally fine sitting on this chair doing nothing.
That's cool.
And it was really neat. And the next day I was more productive. And but if each of us could go, wow, I am spinning my wheels. I am going to just stop and watch the tree sway in the wind for the next 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know, how nurturing that would be for each of us, you know?
Yeah, it could be. It's developing the skill of finding connection with the moment without the analytical mind just chattering away.
Mm-hmm. And without beating yourself up for feeling not motivated or uninspired, you know? It's like, okay, it's okay to have nothing going on in my mind. And I know older people that I've talked with and worked with are like, wow, my mind is not spinning anymore and all these thoughts, and I actually have quiet moments, you know, and I have that experience here and there. I'm not that old. I'm older myself, but you know, it's like, I think that age for most people is how you get there, but I think it's possible to train yourself.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the reality of the situation is too with our minds. If we don't get to that place of quiet occasionally, you know, periodically throughout the day, our thinking is not that effective because we're just like running things into the ground,
right?
Intellectually
and our own energy.
Yeah, and we're not effective. We're not effective at planning. We're not effective at having a vision for the future. We're not effective. We're just caught up in like the ruminating mind, which leads to agitation, which can feed anger and hatred, right? Easy.
Yeah.
Easy, or guilt or fear.
Yeah.
You know, those are a couple other things that can like just bounce right out of the agitated, ruminating mind. You know, and then we're a mess. And then we're acting out of a place that's not very balanced. And our actions are ineffective, and that's the status quo. If the masses are in that place, nothing changes.
Yeah.
We will not evolve as a human race.
And we're just repeating history.
Oh, and it's just going to keep going and going. Only now, with the way technology is going, you know, we don't want to repeat history anymore. Now's the time we need to change, because with the...
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at the world of physics, and with the nanotechnology and quantum computing coming online, AI, we need to get it together, psychologically speaking. I mean, because with the technology and the weaponry that can come out of that, we need to like get a handle on our own minds.
Yeah.
We have to understand that if we're going to make it, we have to like let go of this hatred, even though, you know, something, people love hatred because it makes them feel alive for these short bursts of time, like anger, yelling, you know, throwing rocks or whatever. I mean, it's like, it puts you in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and so it feels good. It's like, I'm doing the right thing. And everybody's supporting you. Yeah, you're doing a great job, you know. But in reality, it's the status quo, you know. And
it's the same old.
We're talking about being rebellious. We're talking about being
real
rebels, being rebels in this culture.
Let's just completely rewrite.
Love rebels.
Love rebels. Totally.
Rebel love.
Love yourself first. That's really the first bottom line. Is loving the self and
connect with your soul.
Nurturing yourself.
It's a beautiful thing. Your soul's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's right inside of you, speaking to you all the time, you know, if you're listening.
So I want to share the thought that I've been contemplating this week is rewriting safety. You know, what is safe? You know, and you mentioned that it was rewriting self. And for me, I feel that, you know, if you get to that soulful place, if you contemplate the soul is has a very long lifespan. You know, a lot of people say infinite, but you say nothing can be infinite and that there's an end to everything.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
it could be.
Yeah, I'm not saying
you're presenting.
It's possible that the soul ends in 10 million years or something.
And I mean, Paramahansa Yoga Nanda says that there's three layers of the body, and there's the physical body, the astral body, and the causal body. And the astral body is where most of us go when we're not human to be and explore. And then once we finally get to the causal body, that's when our soul, when we drop the causal body, that's when our soul re-merges with the infinite.
Yeah, just
and
keep
so
leading.
then maybe that's the end of the soul.
The
I'm
end
not
of
sure.
that could be the end of the individual soul, where
Yeah.
you just connect up with
That's what he says for sure.
the over soul, and then that's like the death of the individual soul.
Yeah.
So it's born, lives many lifetimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it ends
And then
up
it
coming back
remerges.
to the universe and merges
Yep.
back in.
So if we're redefining self, my proposal
Yeah.
is that we really bring into mind that this is one adventure that we're on, and that we're here to reconnect with our purpose, our meaning, our soul.
Yeah.
And that nobody can take that away.
No.
So, and I grappled with this when I was really thinking about Gandhi and how, he got shot in the stomach a few times and he touched the wound, and then he put up his hand in a gesture of peace and peacefully left and like forgave the guy right away, and it's like, can I be that much at peace? Can I speak? Can I walk the talk? I think that's right. Can I walk the talk of what I believe? Can I believe in the soul so much that I can release all fear, that I can just walk into this world and say, you can't take the real me away, and I'm just going to be the real me in this physical vessel and do the best I can do to be that love rebel,
Well, I would say once you're completely enlightened, at that point, you release all the fear. But I mean, for now, we're just releasing some of it.
Yeah.
We're moving in the right direction.
Yeah,
right. We're moving. And as far as like being, the rebel, I mean, one thing we all have, or maybe 99.999% of us have, is the freedom of thought. We get to decide what our thoughts are.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we sit in front of the TV hour after hour after hour, I mean, we still have that freedom to be like, no, I'm tired of this,
Mm-hmm.
or no, I'm not going to be hateful anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested in what life would feel like if I wasn't hateful. I mean, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. What if you just experimented with that?
Yeah.
And it's not even about letting go of hate, it's being aware of hate.
Well, maybe it's
in yourself.
It's replacing it with compassion, isn't it?
Sure. But isn't that kind of like a mindfulness like foundation? Is you have to be aware. You have to be aware of how does it pop up? Where do you feel it? How does it present in its body? What feeds it?
Well, what thoughts feed it?
Yep.
So
very first step is just being aware of how much judgment do you have? How much judgment do you have to yourself? How much judgment do you have to other?
Yeah.
And what is other for you?
Yeah.
Do you hate other?
Yeah.
And if so, how can you find compassion?
Yeah.
How do you find compassion for yourself? Can you redefine self? Can you release the fear of protecting this vessel that you walk in and see it just as a vessel you're walking in this life? And
yeah, very temporary thing anyway.
Very temporary.
100 years goes by like a flash of lightning.
You, no matter how you slice it, you will not be in this body in 100 years from now.
Maybe.
Unless like
I'm freezing my head. Oh, my body's gone. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm not going to join you in that, but I'm kind of a naturalist. But I do want to kind of just draw in this is the mindfulness on the fly tip that we're sharing with you this week is can you be aware of the judgment that you have?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's tricky in this culture too, because our culture is so steeped in judgment. Mm-hmm. It's like normal.
And it's okay.
It's seen as healthy.
Actually, yeah.
It's like, well, it's healthy to be judgmental.
So then the question is, what is the difference between judgment and boundary?
What?
Like, so, you said that in our culture, it's encouraged to have judgment.
Yeah.
But what I understand is boundaries are actually healthy. Like, okay, so you may have been hurt by somebody.
Yeah.
You can forgive them, but you're not necessarily going to be as vulnerable with them ever again.
Right.
So it's a boundary.
Yeah.
You can have a boundary with yourself. Like, every time I have a hateful thought, I'm going to stop and take 10 breaths. And that's your boundary.
Yeah.
So is it more like we need to shift from judgment to boundary? Or do you think that's
I don't know.
really
I think the
related?
first step is noticing it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just in the habit of letting our minds roll and roll and roll, and then like self-identifying with our thoughts and not even noticing when they're judgmental, and I so just being that witness to what's going on in your mind, and identifying that that was a judgmental thought, ooh, that was a hateful thought, and just noticing that in others, noticing it on the news, just getting into that place of kind of being the scientific observer of what's going on in your own mind and what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Without judgment. Yeah, you're not judging it, but you're aware of it.
Yeah, aware of the emotions, aware of the mindset,
aware of the thought that's causing the emotion.
Yeah. Or the mood. What's your mood?
Yeah. What's your mood usually?
Right.
Just noticing all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's our mindfulness on the fly tip for you this week. And we'll share a closing song with you. May you be well. May you see what's happening around you with as much peace of mind as possible. May you be a part of the solution of the love rebellion.
Energy is reality, people. I mean, physics talks about that.
Yeah.
Modern physics. So what kind of energy do you want to be putting out into our culture?
Yeah. Yeah. So
the love rebellion.
Yeah, the love rebellion. Woo!
Here we are.
Yeah. So
it's going on. It's happening. There's a bunch of us everywhere around the world.
Connect energetically.
Yeah.
Connect. Just know that there's so many people who really do believe in the love rebellion.
Yeah.
Whatever words, we honestly just made those words up.
Well, and
maybe someone else has thought of them too, but it's like there's a whole vibration, a whole wave of people who really are like, the old way is not going to be successful.
Yeah. The status quo just is not appealing anymore.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. And the bottom line is if we can really sink into the love rebellion, then in ways I believe we are synchronizing ourselves with the universe. So we have the universe on our side if we're able to walk that walk. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, you can always keep in touch with us and let us know how it's going. And we're going to share one more song with you this week, and we'll be back next week.
Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
My name's Lamont. That's Jalen across the room from me. We just got off and running today with our convo.
Yeah. All right.
Here we are.
thank you for your presence. You've been listening to Mindflow Radio. You can support Mindflow Radio on Patreon and get exclusive content access. Big gratitude to Lotus Head for their mindful music, keeping us in the flow. A shout out to our sponsors, Integrated Mindfulness Institute. Online, visit www.imi.earth. For ideas, questions, or comments, contact us by email, connect@imi.earth. Many blessings on our health and peaceful evolution. We are all in this together.